Now we are supposed to execute 5 instructions. These 5 instructions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on a pipelined CPU in which the number of stages are 4: fetch, decode, execute and write back. But in this particular case, all the instructions are taking different number of cycles. For example, if you see the first instruction, it is taking 1 cycle for fetching, 2 clock cycles for decode, 1 clock cycle for execute and 1 clock cycle for reading. Similarly, if you see this instruction number 2, for fetching it is taking 1 clock cycle, for decoding 2, for executing 2 and for write back 1. Now the question is, how many clock cycles are required in order to finish this execution? Now earlier I have shown you a diagram in which the rows, they were about the stages and the columns, they were about the clocks, right? That is the way you should do it. If you are talking about the efficiency, or if you are trying to find out the efficiency or utilization, you have to draw the diagram that way, whatever I have shown you in the first one. In the first video and in the introduction video, I have shown you a diagram, right? In the diagram we are talking about the stages in the rows and the time I have given you in the column. That is how you should be doing it when you are trying to calculate the efficiency or utilization. Now when you are trying to find out the time by which it is getting finished, you follow the reverse order, which means we are going to have time in the columns, but then in the rows, instead of having the stages, we are going to have instructions. This way it will be easy for us to watch it. Okay, so just see this. I'll just show you how it is done. You do like this in your exam also. Now let us say I'm here putting all the clocks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. In case if these 15 clocks are not enough, then we are supposed to again extend it in the next diagram. So it is always better you see that you use the rough paper if it is given in the horizontal manner, and you try to write the clocks as many as possible so that it will be easy for you to analyze. So how many clocks should you take here? That depends on the options. If the options are given and if the biggest, if among all the options, if the biggest option is, let us say 30, then you should go for 30. That way it will be better. In the worst case also it will be useful. Okay, try to write it in a small letters. If it is not possible to do it in one place, then you can't do anything. You have to do till some part you do it in one diagram, and in next diagram you do the next clocks. Okay, yeah, now let's continue with this. So just for the sake of clarity, I am drawing these lines. Don't do this in exam because it will take a lot of time. If you can't understand the diagram, if you are not able to understand it without the lines, then then there is no other way. You have to go with that. So this is the headache with this question. You have to draw the lines and then do it. The diagram is going to be big sometimes. Now I1, instruction 1. So instruction 1, if you see it, fetch is going to take 1 cycle, therefore fetch is going to be done here, and decode is going to take 2 cycles, therefore decode is going to take these 2, right? See, why am I doing like this? For this one, even you can work on this diagram and you can see, so you can write here for 1 and 3, and then you can even do it on this diagram, but then sometimes you might make some mistakes. So just to be sure that we are not going to make any mistake, I'm just using this diagram. Always if you do like this in an elaborate manner, you'll definitely be able to score the marks. Now decode is over in 2, and what about the execute? 1, and what about the write back? 1. Did you understand this? For the first instruction, fetch is 1 cycle, decode is 2 cycles, execute is 1 cycle, write back is 1 cycle. Fetch is 1 cycle, decode is 2 cycle, execute is 1 cycle, and write back is 1 cycle. Got it? And for the next one, for the instruction 2, I2, fetch is 1. I cannot start it here because fetch is already in the execution. Therefore, in the same cycle or in the same clock, don't start 2 same stages, right? Which means don't start fetch here. You are supposed to start fetch here because fetch is already being used by I1 there. and now decode is being used for 2 cycles, but then you cannot start decode here because decode is under use, right? That is why we have to stall, we have to wait. Okay, that is called as stall. Now we have to start decode whenever it is next available here, right? So decode has to be done 2 times, and after decode we are going to do execute. Yes, we can start execution here for 2 cycles. Got it? And then write back 1. Okay, that is how I2 is over. I1 is over at clock 5, I2 is over at clock 8. And what about I3? Now I3 fetch is 2 cycles. I cannot start it here, I can start here. Fetch is for 2 and decode is only for 1, but then I can't start it here, so I'm starting it here. And execute, it has to go for 3 cycles. I can't start it here, but I can start it here, right? 3 cycles is execute, and write back is only 2 cycles. 2 write back. Got it? And next one is I4. I4 fetch is 1. I can't start here, I have to start here, right? I4. And after fetch, decode is 3. I can't start decode here, so decode, decode, decode. And after decode, execute is 2. I can't start execution here, therefore execution is 2. And after execution is over, write back is 1, right? And for fetch, for the I5, for the next one, 5th instruction, fetch is 1, so I have to start fetch here. And then decode is 2. I can't start decode here, here or here, but I can start decode here. Decode is 2. And execute is 1. I can't start execute here, therefore execute is here. And then write back is 2. So write back. Alright, so if you see this, I3 is over here, I4 is over at the 13th one, and I5, all the 5 instructions have been executed by the end of 15th clock cycle. Therefore it has taken 15 clock cycles to finish this. The question is, in order to execute this these 5 instructions, given that each instruction is taking these many cycles in each stage, what is the total number of clocks required? So in this case, the total number of clocks required is 15 clocks. Okay.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So, first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and IITs, universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%. But all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177 and IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply, and statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities or 50 lakh universities, but whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.